Hi, you're on the road with Norm, and we're in Atwater, California at the Castle Air Museum. We're having a look at this Convair B36, and there's only 4 of them in the world. And I just got in the back gate here at Castle. Got the crew chief of the RB36. Off we go.
So if they need to come through here with the lawnmowers and stuff, they can do it.
Does this aircraft still have any magnesium skins on it?
Oh, yeah.
Is that when I look up through the main landing gear wells, I look at the top skin of the wing from the bottom, and I see it kind of rotting away. Is that that's the magnesium, right?
Yep, delaminating. And it makes it hard when you're working on it, because if you sand it and you get a spark, it can start a fire.
Oh no!
And you can't put it out with water.
No. Hello, RB36. We are with the crew chief, the current crew chief of the RB36, who of course has keys. He can take some pictures of me doing this.
And that bomb, that's the Mark 17. There's only 4 of them in the world. Weighs 42,500 pounds. B-36 was the only airplane that could carry it, and it could carry 2 of them.
Whoa!
It could carry the equivalent of a fully loaded B-17.
Is this the original type of ladder that was in here?
I don't know. I would assume so.
Really? Wow. Can I go up there?
Yeah.
Right on. Oh. Inside of the B36. I guess you open it like this, and then you push. And you go inside. I'm kind of blown away that I'm having this opportunity. But here I am. And it's big in here, and it smells beautiful. And here comes my son, also coming inside a B36. So do I have lights on here? Let's turn on some lights. Let's look at all this stuff. So I am about 5'10", and I touch the ceiling when I hang up. I think this is the gunner. I think this is the gunner's position. And here it is. Here's the look at this. Holy smokes, it's so big in here. It is so big in here.
You want to talk to him?
Oh.
Come on. Yeah. Go like that. Hopefully he got what he needed.
This is the B36. RB36.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You're very much inside.
He made this cabinet out of from our pictures.
Oh.
This whole thing here.
And this is what he's looking for now, is this cabinet over here.
Oh, really? Okay.
He wants this kind of dimensions.
And
this whole station is next thing for him to build. You see, he's built the front.
Yeah, and then back to here.
Does he want like a reference thing at all?
Oh, is it tight in here?
Does he want like a reference thing?
And see, Jimmy Stewart's 6 foot tall, and they said he stood up there.
No way.
No,
I can't stand up in here.
No, I can make it to this first chair here, and that's as far as I can.
These 2 seats are very close together.
Yes, they are.
And this is the engineer station here then.
Yes.
And all the piston engine stuff is back here. And the jet engine stuff is in the middle at the top, right?
On the overhead.
On the overhead. There's your jet engine stuff. And there's a big blanket over here, but she's complete underneath this. Everything's here. Everything is here.
She's still got her guns. The only one that does.
Really? Yeah. This window looks a little bit open.
Oh yeah, they're all big. I'll just show you that.
Look at that.
Can you open that top bit too to the outside?
There's the
my tiller
wheel.
wheel goes right there on that stub that's sticking up on the
Okay.
left there.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I haven't tried to open them.
Yeah.
And sometimes if we get something open, we may not be able to close.
Oh, yeah. It's better than
And you got rain coming, so I don't know if I want to try to open something right now.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep the water out of this.
You can stand up in this little tiny dome.
The water's standing in the bottom of it.
You look back.
There's a window. Yeah, there's still a glass out there. Joe,
Look at
I had
that.
somebody to come in and replace the windows, the glass down there.
I will put that back
And
in a
instead of
sec,
taking
but
them out and doing it right there,
look at
he
it for
took the
now.
windows and broke out all the old. They took pieces of flat plexiglass instead of curving them,
Yeah.
put them in there and siliconed them.
Yeah.
They're falling out. They told him it was good. He buys that shit all the time.
These are all circuit breakers all the way across here. That one's up.
I guess he could.
Undone.
Volunteered before.
Oops. Oh, no, you can pull it back up. Switches underneath here.
That's not it.
Everything still works. Beautiful.
Tell him it flies at 4 o'clock.
We're going to take off at 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Here, Chris.
Doing pre-check.
Okay.
Still works.
It's something I have to see. Watch this. What? This little door down here. It'll open. Bet it will. And there's the little thing. Can I go back there?
Well, if you want, and there's no telling what you're going to find in there.
Whoa! It's not connected.
I don't know. I haven't been. There's different live walks.
Yeah.
So I'm on top of the guns. The guns are still in here. Oh, pretty dirty back here.
Alright, let's get off.
But I'm in. Top of the guns.
Is that free?
These are the rotations, I think. No, this is the this is an RB. This is the camera's mounted in here. This is where the cameras were. And if you want to go to the very back, you got to go through there. Through there.
That takes you to the back of the airplane.
I don't think I'm going to do that. It looks pretty dirty, to be honest with you. A fire axe. Some empty panels down there. Holy smokes. Well, there's stand-up room in here, I gotta say. This looks like a camera. Sitting here. It's loose. This looks like a camera. These are probably super expensive cameras, and the guns must be just below me. And they're cannons, being this big. A little bit of a station over here. There was a seat. Oh, I could look at this airplane forever. There's a bit of wind getting in. Where's it coming in from? I feel a draft. But that's another camera. There are windows everywhere. You go look up lighting controls. Want to go bright, or they still work? Look at all this stuff. All these ones that are separate must be sensors, probably for electronic warfare stuff. And this is actually the operations of the airplane. Ones like this. How can you get? Why is there such a draft coming out of this thing?
Yeah.
JB.
Yeah.
You all the way back?
I didn't go to the other one.
Oh, you didn't?
Do you want me to go? I'd love to go to the tail.
I don't know if you can get out. I don't know. It's probably locked. You're
Get-
welcome to try it if you want.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, back in this tunnel. They climb around in
75 when I brought it in here.
abandoned mines. May as well climb around in a B36. Okay. Okay. Let's try it. It's like super dirty. There's supposed to be a little track. That's like super dirty. And it's in sections. There's supposed to be a little thing on here. And it's really dark in there. I ain't gonna go.
I turn around. Turn back to get it.
So
You're a lot more flexible. They'd have to call AAA to get me up out of that hole.
the one, the run to the back, it doesn't have the little, cart, and it's super dirty.
Okay.
It's like dirt and all bug stuff.
Well,
So
that's why I said you can find dead animals in there.
yeah.
There's got a fox that lives in this wheel well over here
Oh yeah.
on the left wing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but there's a lot of people that have seen it. Jump up in there. It's got a nest evidently. It's been there, I guess, for a couple of years.
What's this doing here?
Oh nice.
Somebody's put a block here. It's like a memorial for.
Somebody that
Jerry
served
Turner.
on it, I guess, at one time or another.
Yeah, it's a memorial for the fellow. So, I think Brian, next up, is making this.
Does he want size reference?
Yeah, I guess.
iPhone 15 for size reference.
Yeah. And I think next he has to make these
And
racks.
that's iPhone 15 Max Pro.
Okay, let me get this whole thing.
Yeah, this
And this has a curve, and this has got a bit of an angle.
Yeah.
This whole thing has got a bit of a wishbone angle to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd need a template of this front curve to make that properly.
I'm going to make him a little break. I asked him if because he takes his metal
Yeah.
and he clamps it. He's got an I-beam with a drill press on it, or not a drill press, but a press. And he takes his metal and clamps it down here and then takes a mallet and beats it over. That's how he.
I've seen him do that.
And I said, no, I've got plans, and I've got some 2-inch angle iron, aluminum angle iron.
Does he want photos with us?
He doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to make him a. I said, most of the stuff you work on under 24 inches wide, yeah, okay. I said, I'll make you something.
If he had a template to this one of these decks, he'd be able to make the rest of them.
Oh yeah,
And is that that's a radio?
yeah. This is the radio department.
That's photos in there.
And if you look up here, you have an idea of how much wiring there is in this mother.
Yeah.
There's tons. And,
Well, look at this. Look at all
and
this.
there's wads of it like that, just run through the whole thing.
Yeah. I can only imagine how much is in a modern plane nowadays.
Well, now it's probably all transistorized and stuff. They probably don't have near as much, like all the wiring and stuff. And this
There's a lot of
has got everything,
modules.
all the jet files and everything. They all ran on gas,
Yeah.
no jet fuel.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is frozen. How do these operate? Oh, beautiful. Most of these still work. You can see some are kind of frozen.
Well, they probably have to be worked, but they've been here since 1992 when it was reassembled.
Yeah.
Took them 2 years to put it back together, and all the parts didn't get put in. Obviously.
Yeah.
Is that an ashtray?
Well, that's what I said. It looks like it worked for my ass.
They all smoked, by the way, back in
Yeah,
these
oh, yeah.
days. They
And
were
it was
smoking
gas.
in here.
You know, it was
Yeah.
gas, aviation gas.
Yeah, and they were all smoking inside here. This is a transponder. No, it's an ADF. Look at how this changes frequencies. Where's the rest of it?
It's probably one of those plugs that has 400 wires in it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that needs to be attached.
Yeah. Well, we used to let people come in here, but
No, they
No
take
more.
things like that. Don't let anyone in here.
no, because
Look at all this stuff just sitting there.
there's too many places for people to get hurt. you
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
And if we got sued, it'd end the museum.
Yeah.
There's the upper skin up there. You can see some writing on the back of the original. Oh, you were saying those might not be original skins? The original
As
skin
far as I
might.
know, they are.
Was it not magnesium?
Yeah.
And that's magnesium. The back that.
Well,
back
I'm
there?
not sure about on the inside, but it's laminated, so it could be on one side only. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, it's laminated metal, so there's a layer of magnesium on it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we shouldn't take any more of your time.
Okay. I'm going to get back and put a layer of fiberglass on the stuff I've been working on, and I'm going to go home. My days are short anymore.
We have to go to Oregon. Thank you so much for letting us in here. This is just the most amazing thing that could have happened to us today.
Well,
honestly,
I didn't think you'd have another chance till you come back, and I don't know who's going to be around. It almost stand up down here.
Yeah, almost.
This got the gun sight.
And here's the door.
So about the glass, most of them have metal in that old glass. That piece there.
That's the glass?
Yep.
You can really see out of it quite well. Well, that's what the bomb sight looked out of. Uh-huh.
And then they got the universal gun mount right here.
Uh-huh.
What's the peripheral gun sight?
There's the gun still in her. Wow. And it had a honey pot.
I restored that. There's another one back at the hangar, a little bigger than that one.
And so these things just sat in different places for
Yeah.
poo?
Yeah.
Or did they have like material on the bottom of them?
That was just a can.
Didn't they put like a lime at the bottom or anything?
I don't know, but the first one, or the last one that used it had to dump it. And evidently somebody along the way decided to take that Astrodome out up on the top.
Yeah.
And see if they could throw it out.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work. It blew it right back in their face. So it made a hell of a mess.
Alrighty, I'll follow you out and close the door.
All right.
Open the door. Racks of equipment. There's so much room in here. And something went up here. Talk to the pilot. Alrighty. And there's all the way down. Up and down. Okay, I'm gonna grab the door. Goodbye, RB36. Thank you for the visit. It was wonderful. I'm gonna close the door. Just like that.
Got my food up. I already have this arm, a piece of tissue, put it in my throat, a piece of tissue in my leg, put it here. I said, well, can't we just take this and put it there?
Yeah.
They said, well, feel this and feel that. Yeah. Here, let me lock that up. There's kind of a trick to it. Watch that. Not really a trick, because the way I do it, the way I know how it's going to do.
Yeah, and of course.
So great. Good morning from Castle Air Museum. Lots to see here. Beautiful day. It's a museum building. Beyond all this area here is where the base used to be. It's now been converted to a civilian airport. And back there we have an Air Force One. Blocked by a D-21 drone is an SR-71 Blackbird. And I see a train coming actually right now, just offside here. The train tracks parallel the base. I don't know where to start with this airplane. There's only 4 complete B-36 aircraft in the whole world. They built 384 and only 4 complete survived. There is a 5th one that is a whole bunch of pieces that Brian Pearson has, and he's built the cockpit and put the whole thing back together. And right now he's working on the tail crew section, the big chunk of it you see in the back. This plane is so big. Underwing jet pods, 2 jet engines, and 3 ginormous 4,360 cubic inch piston engines on the back of each wing. That's 6 piston engines and 4 jet engines. So you got 6 turning and 4 burning. Other guys will tell you it was 4 burning, 4 on fire, 2 on fire. Missing a spinner here. The different colors you see on the fuselage, this aircraft was originally constructed with magnesium all over the place. My understanding is a whole bunch of them got the magnesium taken off when they realized how flammable the stuff is and changed out for a high strength aluminum. And it sure looks like there's some of that going on here on this fuselage. Another thing that's going on here is the aircraft had 2 pressurized sections for the crew. One, of course, at the front, and the other one at the back here. And I believe that's the bulkhead, the pressure bulkhead. In between the two, they're connected by a very long tunnel, and you can travel through on a little sled that's on these little rails, and you can slide through. But this rear compartment, it had people working in it. There were ECM guys, there was a little galley in there, a crew rest station, and a gunner's position. This aircraft had a crew of 15 in different configurations. I should correct that. This particular aircraft was built as a reconnaissance aircraft because it flew so well at 50,000 feet, and it could also fly for like, I don't know, a day and a half. And it was the only aircraft, oh no, I take that back. There were another aircraft. They had a camera to take pictures of things on the ground that had a 28-foot focal length. And they converted these aircraft to reconnaissance airplanes to carry that. I was told, I made a video of this aircraft and it got a lot of responses from people online, and I learned so much about this airplane from what people told me in the comment sections. For example, this section right here, these are retractable gun positions. I believe this aircraft has had its removed. But let's go inside the bomb bay and see what we can see. The balisters are for the gunners, and all the guns are remote controlled. The bomb bay doors are open, and there's a lot of netting in here to keep the birds out. And up on this side, you can see the tube going all the way along. That's the pressurized tube for the crew to go back and forth. And all the way down to this end of the, I believe the pressurized bulkhead is still further forward. This is just a bulkhead. Really neat to see. You're underneath the wing spar box. There's where the wing spars come together. And just the framing of this thing is pretty amazing. And another thing I learned from the comments was inside this area, even on the reconnaissance aircraft, these racks are bomb racks, and they would drop bombs that were photo flash bulbs, and they could photo flash an entire area at night. And you can see how there's 4 positions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They go all the way up to the ceiling, which, by the way, gives you some pretty great detail of how it was built. And you can see the magnesium. You see it rots, where you can see the holes in it right through. Those are pieces of magnesium skin. Just rots. Now, somebody told me that if you're really careful, you can look in here. Oh, the netting has been wrecked. Oh my goodness. And you can see the retractable gun pods up there. Oh, I've got my camera on a little stick and I can hold it up here. And I think my camera is inside the airplane having a look. I'm not touching anything. But you can really see a lot. And I think the gun positions are those round little potty things, one on each side. I'm quite sure they're still in this airplane. It's those little round things on each side. You can see the edge of the door. quite a big piece of room back here. I mean, this is a really large area. This aircraft came here on 22 rail cars that were donated for use by a railway and hauled here for free. Thank you very much. Great look inside that. Landing gear is just so big. And this landing gear was developed. This style of landing gear was developed by Convair. The first landing gear that flew on this airplane was a single tire setup. It had one single wheel. It was the largest tire that has ever been made for a military aircraft. It was 9 feet high. There is one of them sitting in the museum in Dayton, Ohio. They've got one of those tires sitting there. And it retracts into that huge door, opens up, and up she goes, and that big blister covers it, I suppose. Here it is parked with, she does not have her weight on her. She's sitting on top of a piece of steel. Pretty good idea. The engine is just huge. I mean, the cowling looks about 10 feet wide. They mounted the engines on the back on this design in an effort for the wings to have perfect airflow going over them. If you put 6 giant props in front of the wings, you just don't get the same clean airflow over the wings. On the other side, on the ground there, they got a nuclear bomb that was designed for this airplane. And over here, the window is partially open for where the side-looking camera was. And the camera basically stretched out that way, I believe. It was really big, and it reflected the lens and then outside. And there's another position right here that opens up. I could be wrong. This could be a crew entry door for all I know. Oh no, it's cameras. There's one right here. Yeah, this whole pod is reconnaissance. It's got a straight down camera. It's got a giant radar pod right here. And here's a camera lens. Oh no, this isn't a lens, I'm sorry. It's a protective window and the camera would be back there. You can see the space back there is empty. I wish I could fly a drone here, but there's no way. You are next to an operating airport. Good look at how she's put together, though. I wonder what that red thing is. And this is some kind of radar blister. It has, oh, this is how you get inside. I can tell because there's a lock on it. Inside there's a staircase. A little bit of a look at how she steers. And those tires are maybe 3.5 feet high. B36. If we go underneath the wing over here, I noticed if you look up through the landing gear, I don't think they did the magnesium skins on the top of the wing, because you can go past the wing of a rascal. You see back there? You see the daylight coming through? That, I believe, is how magnesium corrodes. It just rots in the sun. But you would need a lot of aluminum to help this airplane. like, I don't know, a few acres of it. Looks like the aileron is drooping a little bit over on this side. I wonder if these engines ever had a 4-bladed prop on them. I read somewhere that these propellers have beta pitch, and this aircraft can back up. They can put all 6 props into beta, and this thing can drive backwards on the ramp. I would like to see that. But nobody's had one of these things running for a really long time. I don't know if anybody has ever had one of these aircraft running since the 1960s. The top of the tail is just way up there. A good look at the tail guns and some obviously radar type sensors in the back there. Oh, look, there's a gun swinging in the wind. So I think that's just a piece of pipe, not really a gun. She's loose. Don't worry, loose is fast. Interesting pattern of tail lights on it. Looks like there's 2 on each side. And you sure can see a couple of different sheets of aluminum on the bottom surface of that elevator. That looks like it has 2 different trim tabs on it. That's just bizarre. Trailing edge. And a giant slot for the leading edge. Give nice airflow over the tail when she's in the lower position. See that? Kind of a neat design going on there. It's my son over there waiting for me. You're lucky if your 28-year-old son will travel with you. Does most of the driving now too. It's awesome. I wish I could get inside this airplane. I really do. I see a couple of other YouTubers have made applications to the fellas in the SAC Museum in Nebraska where they have one of these indoors. And they get inside of it, crawl around all over the place. What a privilege. The Convair, pulled out some Wikipedia here because it's got a pretty good description of this airplane. The Convair B36 Peacemaker is a strategic bomber built by Convair and operated by the United States Air Force Strategic Air Command from 1949 to 1959. The B36 is the largest mass-produced piston-engine aircraft ever built, although it was exceeded in span and weight by the one-off Hughes Hercules. It also has the longest wingspan of any combat aircraft. The B-36 is capable of intercontinental flight without refueling. They built 384 of these aircraft from 1946 to 1954. It uses the massive Pratt & Whitney BW4360 engines. That's 4,360 cubic inches each. Huge. Three-bladed propellers on, and each wing has 2 jet engines as well. If you look at this one here, it's got the covers on them. They could close the front of them for aerodynamics. These engines were only used for takeoff and for a sprint over the target. They didn't have enough fuel to fly them for the whole flight. They were stuck out on the wing like that. It's got a stabilizer arm on it, and they built these really fancy aerodynamic covers over the front. The bump underneath, I don't know why the bump needs to be there, but the front of it is a landing light. This aircraft right here was constructed
as an RB36H-30-CF by Convair in Fort Worth, Texas.
I wish my shop looked like this. And I wish it had an F4 Phantom in it.